What's that?
Good morning. Welcome to the Auburn Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, located on occupied ancestral land of the Muskogee Creek Nation and in a building constructed by the newly freed, formerly enslaved people. My name is Jerry McCreary, and I am your service associate today. Some of us are bringing our best selves to this place. Some of us are bringing our struggling selves, including pieces we might be ashamed of. All of us are welcome here, and all of us are loved. Some of us already have open hearts, and some of us aren't quite there yet, because our hearts may have gotten a little beaten up this week and might have forgotten how to trust and be open. Your heart is welcome here. No matter how bruised, we welcome you among us. All of us are imperfect, but we're here to drop our defenses and trust that what happens here is powerful and life-giving. Together, we affirm this day, and our being together can make each of us braver, more compassionate, and wiser than when we woke up this morning. We welcome you here. There are no printed announcements today. Spoken announcements will be heard at the end of the hour. However, if you look at This Week at AUUF, you might find some very interesting activities. On behalf of the members of the fellowship, I extend a special welcome to all visitors who are joining us for the first time, and to those of you who still feel like visitors. If you've not already done so, please fill out our visitor book at the front near the greeters, or digitally by visiting auuf.org/visitor. You may also contact our minister, Reverend Chris Rothbauer, at minister@auf.org with any questions or concerns you may have. He's still here in Europe. As we prepare for our service this morning, please remember to turn your phone and any other electronic devices to silent. Let us move into the service willing to be authentic with each other, honest within ourselves, and open to connection in all of its forms. Opening words marking the time by Reverend Max Coots are from Touchstones. When love is felt, or fear is known, when holidays and holy days and such times come, when anniversaries arrive by calendar or conscientiousness, when seasons come, as seasons do, old and known, but somehow new, when lives are born and people die, when something sacred is sensed in oil or sky. Mark the time. Respond with thought or prayer or smile or grief. Let nothing living slip between your fingers, the fingers of your mind, for all these are holy things, things we cannot find again. Martha Law will perform our prelude today, I Wish You Love by Charles Trinity. Thank you. We light our chalice this morning with these words from the Auburn UU. We light this chalice to find inner peace, love for each other, and faith in ourselves. Also, to be welcoming to whomever we meet and kind to all living creatures. So gather around this light of hope as we share this time together. As is our tradition, we also light a candle in solidarity with those families separated at our southern border. Okay. Our hymn to sing with the choir is number 100, I've Got Peace Like a River.
Surround the congregation. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river. I've got peace like a river in my soul. I've got
ways that we proclaim the warmth and caring of our community is by sharing our joys, milestones, and concerns. If you are joining us virtually, we invite you to type your joy, concern, or milestone in the YouTube chat box. If you have a silent joy, concern, or milestone, we invite you in person to, one at a time, drop a pebble into our communal bowl during the musical meditation. For our musical meditation, Lorna Wood will play Tango Etude No. 4 by Astor Piazzolla. Thank you, Lorna. I invite you, if you have a spoken joy, concern, or milestone, to come forward one at a time and briefly share it into the microphone.
Good morning. And it is not on.
It's not.
That's better. Not for y'all, but at least for me. I kind of update on the house situation. We're still selling our house. But if you remember a couple of weeks ago, I told you we had a buyer and that deal fell through. But it's one of those cases where no just means yes, just not yet. We passed all of our inspections and everything's good on our end. It was their credit that was the issue. So it's not bad news, but y'all are stuck with us for a little while longer.
I wanted to thank the fellowship for.
I was absent because I've been blessed with two wonderful grandsons. One just graduated from the University of Richmond, and he is going to be a tax person for KPMG, whatever that is. I have no idea. Apparently it's a pretty good, much sought after job. My youngest grandson, who is a junior, well, up and coming junior in Boulder, has headed to Amsterdam. He was only home for 3 days. That smart little talented fella got an internship there with a big musical performance thing. And that's what he likes to do in Boulder. So I don't know how he wrangled that. It comes with housing, which was immediately my concern. Is he going to live in a tent? But anyway, they're both doing well. and I'm so proud. And thank you for letting me share my joys.
Well, I have a joy that I finally finished my Pride note cards. They're on the back table, as usual, for donation of any amount to UUSC. You can have one, but I was just so thrilled to find fabric I could use and put them together and get them out in time for Pride Month. And I don't know, joy, concern, definitely a milestone. I turn 75 tomorrow.
Jerry, Sylvia, everybody. I repeat. Jerry, Sylvia, everybody. Some of you may know about my private concern, at least a couple of you, but I have another one that I'd like to share with you. Yesterday, over near the Auburn pool or Sanford pool, some guy tried to harm some children. Tried to sweet talk them and then drugged them and then mugged them with their mother in the presence. Luckily, nothing happened. So if you could keep the children and the mom in your prayers, I would appreciate that very much. What was my joy? Oh, the joy was concerning last Sunday at All Souls. I'd like to thank Reverend Angela Farmer for conducting that and for the privilege of being the co-celebrant last week. And also Reverend Darcy in her absence for giving me that opportunity to do it in the past. And I'm looking more forward, looking at All Souls. Many of them are involved with the Pride on Plains activities this week, and keep them in your mind, obviously. Thank you.
Next weekend, I get to go to my first horse competition ever with dressage. I'm very excited. I honestly don't know, so we're gonna
Thanks to all who shared their joys, concerns, and milestones this morning. May all the joys, concerns, and milestones of this community, those shared aloud and those held in silence, be received into the care and concern of all present.
The old switcheroo. I'm Sylvia. Jerry was great service associate. Let's give him a hand.
Put the mic closer to your mouth.
I will. Okay.
Or I'll move closer to the mic, perhaps.
So the offering that we take each Sunday isn't just a stale habit. It's an opportunity to recommit to this place and to this people. Our offering is an affirmation, a yes.
Sylvia?
Yes?
Supposed to be the moment for all ages.
Is it the moment for all ages? Well, guess what? We're going to switch it around. Then we're going to do the moment for all ages. We're going crazy. We're switching it around. Just roll with me. When we give, we say yes to something we value. With our gifts freely given, may we say yes to the values of our faith. May our offering help us practice Unitarian Universalism within and beyond our congregation as tools to empower our mission. To make a donation online via PayPal, please visit abuf.org/donate. If you could please indicate whether it's pledge or plate, we would be very grateful. If you're writing a check, please make your check payable to AUF with a note on the memo line about whether it is for the offering or your pledge, and drop it into the offering bowl or mail into P.O. Box 669, Auburn, Alabama 36831. The offering will now be gratefully received, even if slightly out of place. And we also have, during the offertory, Lorna will be playing a folk song, O Shenandoah. We are fortunate to have a moment for all ages today with Angela Farmer. So I'm going to let her take over, and kids and any people who feel like kids.
It is a moment for all ages. You don't have to be a little kid. You can come on up. How are ya? Good. Look at this. Woo-hoo. Happy Pride, everybody. So I have a couple of things before we start. I know Peter just passed around the Angels sign-in sheet. I have a playground sign-in sheet for the summer. There's 2 pages. You'll notice that some days have more than one. Super simple background check. You just send me your email address and it's all kind of automated. You can't have this. We have to work. I also have, and we can put these on outside, but I have temporary tattoos for everybody. You're not coming outside, would you like one? I'm gonna take the rest of them, you pick one out, and everybody can pick one out. But I'm gonna bring the rest to Pride after at Kiesel Park. Who's gonna be over there? Who will I see? Yay! So you saw the girls bring this flag down. Do you know this is not a pride flag? Those are pride flags. This is an inclusive flag. It started like that, and then we added to it because we realized that we had left some of our friends out. And so it is a little bit changed now. But I got this to hang in the RE building, so that's gonna be ours now. And I'm gonna tell you the story about where the pride flag came from. Do you know? Does anybody know? I'm gonna tell you. This is Pride, the story of Harvey Milk and the Rainbow Flag by Rob Sanders and Stephen Salerno. You have to give them hope. Hope for a better world, hope for a better tomorrow. Harvey Milk was an ordinary man, but he had an extraordinary dream. That dream would change history. Harvey dreamed that everyone, even gay people, would have equality. He dreamed that he and his friends would be treated like everyone else. He dreamed that one day people would be able to live and love as they pleased. With his New York accent, Harvey talked to everyone about his dream. His voice boomed, his body bounced with energy and excitement. Some people listened, a few agreed, most did not. But Harvey's big voice and his big dream wouldn't be stopped. He discovered that the best way to change laws was to help make laws. In 1977, Harvey Milk took a big step toward that dream when he became one of the first openly gay people to be elected to political office in the United States. The first was a woman in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I don't remember her name. I don't think I could pronounce her name when I looked it up. I'm sorry. Harvey and his friends planned marches to protest inequality and unfair laws. And just days before one of the marches, Harvey had an idea. A symbol, he thought. We need a symbol that shows who we are and how we feel. Something to carry during the march. Something to make people feel like they're part of a community. Something to give people hope. Something extraordinary. Harvey knew an artist who could help. Gilbert Baker. Harvey asked. Gilbert said, "We need a flag." Volunteers arrived to help Gilbert's design come to life. Together they dipped fabric into large barrels filled with vivid, vibrant dyes. They cut and pieced and sewed until Harvey, Gilbert, and the other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes, a flag that Harvey hoped would give hope. On June 25th, 1978, when it was time for the march, a breeze stirred in San Francisco and the flag unfurled. Rights are won only by those who make their voices heard. The wind blew, the flag fluttered, flapped, and flew. A rainbow as bright and unique as the men and women who walked behind it led the march. Harvey asked the people for equality. They asked to be treated like everyone else. They asked to live and love as they pleased. They hoped the march would make a difference. Harvey was proud of the flag and proud of himself. He hoped others could be proud too. Five months later, on the morning of November 27th, 1978, Harvey and the mayor of San Francisco, George Moscone, were assassinated. Their lives were taken by a man who didn't think like Harvey, or feel like him, or love like him. The flag did not fly on that dark, sad night. Instead, thousands and thousands of people marched silently, carrying candles. The candlelight wove through the streets of San Francisco, up and down the hills and around city buildings, a mile of glowing candlelight in honor of 2 lives lost. That could have been the end of Harvey's dream in the colorful flag, but it wasn't. More rainbow flags were created. Some of the colors changed. 8 stripes became 6 stripes, but the meaning of the flag did not change. It was a flag of equality. More and more people began to think of the flag as their flag, and they began to feel pride. They began to have hope. In 1994, Gilbert Baker designed another rainbow flag. This one was larger than all the rest. Women and men, side by side, carried a flag, a proud, mile-long rainbow floating through New York City. It goes down the whole street. That's a lot. They had to sew that whole thing, yeah. The flag wove through the streets, up and down the avenues and boulevards and around the city buildings. The people demanded equality. They demanded to be treated like everyone else. They demanded to live and love as they pleased. They were proud. They had hope. They would make a difference. I asked for the movement to continue, for the movement to grow. That looks like a hard turn. More rainbow flags were made. Some were printed on bumper stickers and t-shirts. Others were hoisted onto lampposts on Halsted Street in Chicago, right by where I grew up. One was hung in the Museum of Modern Art in New York City. Soon the rainbow flag was flying in other countries like Brazil, England, Israel, Russia, Singapore, and Turkey. The rainbow flag now unfurled on farms, in suburbs, and in cities. The flag flew proudly outside public buildings, hotels, shops, restaurants, churches, and homes. And once, on June 26th, 2015, not that long ago, but it feels like a world ago, the White House was awash in the colors of the rainbow flag. Equality, pride, hope, and love. Harvey's dream became a flag for us all. I won't. Are you excited? Okay, let's go pick some. May your hearts know love and your hands do justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
Today the program is about Love Conquers All. In Latin, if you're curious. It's omnia vincit amor. Apologies to any Latin native speakers. I took Latin in junior high, and the teacher, who we thought was ancient, we assumed that she was living during Roman times, would always correct our pronunciation, which we just thought that was hilarious because how would she know, right? But apparently some people know. But anyway, the point being is this saying has been around a really long time, and it was the Roman poet Virgil who said it in one of his poems, and you might remember this little tiny excerpt. Love conquers all things, let us yield to love. So that's where it comes from. And as far as love goes, the month of June has several significant lovely dates. And in fact, yesterday, which is where I got the inspiration for this program, was Love Conquers All Day. Of course, we want that to be, all 12 months of the year, but specifically yesterday. And the way it was described is no matter how tough life gets, things are better with our loved ones at our side. Today, we can express gratitude and love to those who matter and recognize love as an important emotion that makes the world go around. And so even though that was technically yesterday, let's celebrate it today. Psychologists also say that love is the strongest emotion. Of course, we experience a range of emotions like anger and fear and shame and joy and envy, and they all have very strong physiological responses in our body. But love is more profound, more intense, and influences behaviors even more than all these other emotions. It's true because psychologists say this. People change their lives for love. You move closer to be near somebody. You return home to take care of somebody you love. You sometimes have to do difficult things because you love someone, right? So there's lots of things we do because of love. So, and as we have just discussed, June is Pride Month. It's a month-long commemoration and celebration of love, of LGBTQ love, so they can step into their light and celebrate their accomplishments and love. Father's Day is June 18th, a great holiday to honor and celebrate parental love. Juneteenth follows right afterwards, celebrating the emancipation of enslaved Black people in the United States. Families of enslaved people couldn't always guarantee that they could be together with their loved ones. So emancipation allowed families and loved ones to have a better chance to be together. So it's about love. But wait, there's more. Summer solstice is June 21, which is a midsummer ritual often associated to romantic love and fertility. There's a reason why people get married in June. June was named for Juno, the goddess of marriage and childbirth, because people who got married in June did so to honor her, but also, if you think about it, 9 months later, wink, wink, babies born to couples who married in June were more likely to survive because they were born in the spring and there was milder temperatures and less likely to have less infection and starvation. So there was practical things too. The Bible speaks often of love, although it did not come up with the love conquers all things quote. But many of you have heard this It's not long, I promise. It's 1 Corinthians. If I speak in human and angelic tongues, but do not have love, I am a resounding gong or a clashing cymbal. And if I have the gift of prophecy and comprehend all mysteries and all knowledge, if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but I don't have love, I am nothing. If I give away everything I own, and if I hand over my body so that I may boast, but do not have love, I gain nothing. Love is patient. Love is kind. It is not jealous. It is not pompous. It is not inflated. It is not rude. It does not seek its own interest. It is not quick-tempered. It does not brood over injury. It does not rejoice over wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. It bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never fails. If there are prophecies, they will be brought to nothing. If tongues, they will cease. If knowledge, they will be brought to nothing. And when the perfect comes, the partial will pass away. At present, we see indistinctly, as in a mirror, but then face to face. So faith, hope, love remain, these three. But the greatest of these is love. So how do we show love as we use? But you all know the principles: the inherent worth and dignity of every person, justice and equity and compassion in human relations, and all of the wonderful principles that we have. But you'll notice that, in fact, love is not in the principles. If you go back and read them, never do you see the word love. However, so where is the love? So I would say the 7 principles are how we show love. It's evidence of love. Because if we believe in the dignity of all people, we love people. If we look at justice, equity, and compassion, that's love of community. Respect for the interdependent web of all existence and love of the world, human and non-human, that's love of our world and everybody in it, not just humans. So I'd like you to do a short responsive reading with me. After each little section, all you have to say, really short, 3 words: love conquers all. So let's practice.
Love conquers all.
Perfect. Okay. Ready? Love is different. Instead of looking for the worst in others and finding fault, let's find the best in others and build them all. Build them up.
Love conquers all.
Sometimes we are quickly angered, focus on how we think we have been wronged, and celebrate the misfortune of others. Love focuses on forgiving and healing relationships.
Love conquers all.
When we assume the worst and judge others, love reminds us to trust.
Love conquers all.
When we want to give up, give into despair, love will give us hope.
Love conquers all.
Sometimes we are our own worst critics and feel we are unworthy of love and afraid to accept love. Giving ourselves grace and finding love for ourselves heals us from within.
Love conquers all.
One more time.
Love conquers all.
Thank you. So in the words of the Beatles, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make. So now, sorry, my papers are all out of order. We are going to join the choir singing. We are a gentle, angry people. Number 170 in the gray hymnal.
As appropriate for Unitarians, the words have been updated, approved by the Unitarian Universalist Musicians Network, on verse 5, where it says, "We are gay and straight together." The new wording is, "We are gay, straight, and trans together." Now I'll try to give you the rhythm because the choir never did figure it out. So it will be, "We are gay, straight, and trans together. We are gay, straight, and trans together. Okay, so that's verse 5. It's a while to remember that. But obviously, today that's important.
Please join me in extinguishing our chalice with the words by Elizabeth Sell. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Please be our guest today after the service for our coffee hour. This is an opportunity to check in with folks about the service, how the week has gone. If you haven't met somebody, you can say hello. If you're not signed up for our email list, please make sure to do so, because none of us receive enough email to receive updates. Just kidding. We don't get enough, right? Sorry. To receive updates about ways to connect. You can find information on signing up on our website, aunuf.org/subscribe. If you have an announcement, please feel free to come forward one at a time. We'd like to ask you to please be brief in your announcement.
Just making sure the playground sign-up sheet goes down this side. I don't think it made it.
So I have an announcement because I am the memorial plaque. You can call me a chair, except there's only one of me, so it's not really a committee. And one of the ways we raise funds for the memorial plaque is we have a memorial plaque fund, which is separate from the operating budget. So it's not in the budget. We have to raise money for it. Camilla Herschel is downsizing and has some lovely items in the back that are for sale, and all of the money she has discussed with me will go to the Memorial Plaque Fund. So come see me at the back, and I'll help you purchase anything you'd like back there. And that's all for now.
Also in the back, please come by if you haven't already and sign a leaf to say goodbye to Reverend Chris.
This Friday is game night, so come out from 6 to whenever we're done at the Bush Center. Bring food, you could bring games, you could just bring your lovely selves. There might be kids running around, so we have family stuff to do as well. So come and join us.
Yes.
Today, we're drumming in the sanctuary at 2 o'clock.
Yes, 2 o'clock
to
here.
3:30.
To 3:30.
So if you've already gone out to Kiesel and you want to come back into the shade and hear some drumming, great. But then I will be going out to Kiesel Park when we're done drumming.
I didn't know that. But this is authentic professional African drumming. I mean, this is no nonsense drumming. You know, before it was me and it was failed terribly. But now we have a professional, 2 people, Lisa and Conrad. No, Connor and Lisa are coming.
No,
and Amy, thank you. Yeah, see, it's been a long time, sir. And the other thing I want to say is we are back with yoga on Tuesdays at 5:30. So hopefully you'll join us, especially those of you who have some summer break. We're here with you and we'd love to see you, as well as drum circle and yoga.
You want to talk in the mic?
Oh, in the mic. Okay, I'm trailing off. Is Chris leaving? Chris has left?
Yeah.
We'll catch you up.
Oh, okay. Catch you up.
Well, sometimes you have to do weird things for your friends. In this case, my friend Jim Bradley, who many of you know, he's here, but he also is in Wisconsin. So as Firesign Theater used to ask, how can you be in 2 places at once when you're not anywhere at all? Anyway, Jim Bradley is, strangely, the president of the UU Fellowship in Blue Hills, Wisconsin. And they sent me this letter, and in the letter it said, we would like you to share this with your congregation. So I have to do this, or else Jim will never speak to me again. Basically, they were making their voice known on the proposed changes to Article 2, which will be taken up at the GA this year. They're against screwing around with Article 2. They say keep the 7 principles just the way they are, and they're in favor of adding the 8th principle, which has to do with opposing racism. So I'll post the letter on our bulletin board back there, and you can read the whole thing. And if Jim asks you, did he announce this? Say yes.
Just briefly, I sent an email yesterday about a book discussion that's happening this Wednesday from 3 to 4. How many, or did any of you hear Bill Pelkey when he was here at the end of the 90s talking about the death of his grandmother and turning from the ways of violence and destruction to the ways of forgiveness, and they founded Murder Victims' Families for Reconciliation. Did anybody hear or remember that? Oh my, it was a while ago. But anyway, the book 70 times 7 is about Bill's story and the 15-year-old young black woman who was part of a group of people who killed the grandmother, and Murder Victims' Families for Reconciliation
grew all around the country as family victims, and perpetrators came together saying, no more killing, no more blood must be shed. So it's a vision of love indeed, Sylvia, wherever you are, and I invite you to try to tune into it 3 to 4 on Wednesday, and I think probably via the Death Penalty Action Network. That's how I received it. So thank you. You know, we have an execution coming up in July.
Hi, I'm Robert, half of the Sylvia and Robert, co-chairs of the Sunday Services Committee. Sounds like a 60s group, right?
It does sound like
We'll get some guitar going. Just want to remind everybody that we are looking for ideas as well as participants in planning Sunday services, not just for the summer or once a month, but we got about 52 to go. And I think Sylvia showed what can be done. There is a basic structure, but guess what? When you take charge of a service, it's your structure.
Might even move stuff around.
Exactly. And I was thinking about the drumming that's going to be coming on. We've had a large drum circle as a Sunday service. So it really is, you know, what you need to do though is when you hear we're going to call a meeting, come to the meeting. If you have ideas, please send an email, okay? You know, something that went on in the 90s, I can't remember 90 minutes ago. So send us an email so that we can go ahead and put that, you know, on the prospective topics list and so on. It's, you know, we've done this before. This is not something that's foreign to us. We do a really good job. I think, Sylvia, right? Yes. So, I mean, we could be a show. UU's got talent, okay? So let's go ahead and spread it amongst ourselves, and then we can hit the week running. Thanks.
I'm going to give a short plug for the Oak Street Meeting House in Camp Hill. The First Universalist Church has officially turned our parsonage into a community center. And we have a Rufus who cooks there quite regular, and if anybody would like supper, yeah, we're that country, we do have supper. Feel free to come out. Supper's usually around about 7 p.m. and Rufus cooks some really great soul food.
Thank you very much for all the wonderful announcements. Please join us now for our Psalm benediction. Be ours a religion which, like sunshine, goes everywhere. Its temple, all spaced, its shrine of the good heart, its creed, all truth, its ritual, works of love, its profession of faith and divine living. Have a great week. Thank you.